Question for you to ponder. Is there a difference between being alone and being lonely? Sitting at the beach, all on my own. I'm feeling the ocean air against my skin. The sun is warm. I hear the waves. I can even taste the salt in the air. I was all alone, but I didn't feel lonely. I was all by myself, and it actually felt amazing. So replenishing. Now, compare that to my son's wedding. All 9 of my children were there, my whole family, everyone I'd spent over 30 years building a life with, standing right in front of me. And I stepped back and I looked at this family I helped create, and I felt so lonely. Not because I wasn't invited, not because I wasn't there. I just didn't feel like I belonged to them anymore. They were a family and I didn't feel like I was part of it. I was looking right at the people I loved most and I just didn't fit. Alone at the beach and I felt fine. Surrounded by my own family and I felt completely lonely. So, is there actually a difference between being alone and being lonely? We think if we're surrounded by people, well then we can't possibly be lonely. And we think if we're by ourselves, well I guess we must be lonely. But that's not actually true. Ed Sheeran's got a song about being surrounded and all alone. It's not just a lyric. It's real. I've lived it. I was completely alone on that beach and I felt more connected to myself than I had in years. And I was completely surrounded by my own children. On my son's wedding day, I felt like the loneliest person in the room. Nobody tells you that you can lose the feeling of belonging to your own family even when you're standing right next to them. And here's the hard part. Learning how to actually be alone with yourself, not just physically by yourself, but okay in your own company, that doesn't feel peaceful right away. I wish somebody had told me that. I thought once I got quiet enough, once I stopped filling every hour with noise and busyness, that's not what happened. At first, it felt worse. It takes work to learn how to be alone with yourself. And honestly, in the beginning, it doesn't feel good. There was nothing left to distract me from me. No noise to drown it out. No one else's needs to focus on instead of my own. Just me in a quiet room with whatever I'd been avoiding for years. I remember what came up in that quiet. It wasn't peace right away. It was questions. Who am I when nobody needs anything from me? What do I actually want? Not what does the family want, not what does he want. What do I want? I hadn't asked myself that in decades. And when the noise finally stopped, those questions were just sitting there waiting for me. They were uncomfortable to sit with. I didn't have the answers right away. I just had the questions and I had to learn to stay in the room with them instead of running. So where am I with it now? I wouldn't say I've mastered being alone, but I don't really think that's the goal anyways. But I don't run from it the way I used to. I can sit in a quiet house now and not crank the music up loud, not reach for my phone, not need to fill the silence with something. I got better at tolerating my own company before I ever learned to actually enjoy it. And somewhere along the way, without really noticing when it happened, tolerating turned into something closer to peace. Alone and lonely, they're not the same thing. And I learned that the hard way at a beach and at a wedding and in 100 quiet nights in between.